Hello fun people, I'm Isaac Carlson, and today I want to explain why the lovable, hot-tempered, and hilarious Donald Duck doesn't fly, because it's not like he doesn't want that ability. We see in the House of Mouse episode Donald Wants to Fly that he desires to be like normal ducks, and wishes he could take to the sky like so many other Disney characters.
I wish I could fly.
No, Donald. You're good at lots of things, just not flying.
We've seen a plethora of moments where Donald's life would have been easier if he would have flown, but he never did. Whether that be in DuckTales, where he needs to avoid obstacles or escape a desert island, or in shorts like Be On Guard, where he wants to pretend to be a bee so he tied himself to a tree, or in the World War II short Sky Trooper and Commando Duck when he has to jump out of planes and needs a parachute. Even in times when this duck ability would be most useful, Donald never flies, and there's a reason for that.
You wanted to fly, didn't you? Well, fly!
But to get around this inability to flutter in the air, in the short The Flying Jalopy, Donald buys a plane from Ben Buzzard, similarly to his sister Della, who is a world-renowned pilot in the comics and in DuckTales. Pretty much all of the members of the McDuck family fly together in the Sun Chaser when they're traveling around the world to solve mysteries and rewrite histories. The lack of ability to fly really doesn't seem to be exclusive to Donald. We really never see any duck fly except when we meet actual normal ducks. Weird enough, in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse episode Donald's Ducks, he teaches actual ducks how to fly south by guiding them in a plane. He can't fly, but he definitely is willing to put in the time to show them where they need to go. It's one of those weird world colliding moments like Pluto and Goofy both being dogs, which Donald clearly experienced in the Pomp and Circumstance segment in Fantasia 2000. That seems to be where he met real ducks, but in the animated Disney world, there's a big difference between the citizens of Duckburg and the conventional Earth-like birds that exist. They're both in their own class, which is even clear from Noah's checklist on the Ark. These more human-like species of ducks in the Disney world have to go through a lot to get in the air compared to their smaller brethren. It's just kind of something you have to go with, just like how you gotta believe that an old scientist like Professor Von Drake enjoys flying around with a rocket backpack. While Von Drake cruises in style around Mickey's Clubhouse though, most of the time when Donald is there, we see him actually in a hot air balloon. So he definitely has some experience flying around, but not very much, which we learn in the Mickey Mouse short Captain Donald. He's not much of a pilot, to say the least.
Get ready for takeoff.
Wow, you can fly a plane?
Go!
Of course, Donald doesn't just fly using technological beasts though, but he also has a history of soaring with magic. In Kingdom Hearts 2, the Lion King world transforms him into a flying animal called Bird Donald. He went from a bird to a flying bird, and when that happens in the Pride Lands, that's all he does to get around. Clearly, he was making up for lost time. In the House of Mouse, he's tried on Hermie's shoes and has received advice on how to fly from Quasimodo's gargoyles, Scuttle, and Timothy Q. Mouse. Contrary to all of his experiences, Donald Duck really believed that he could get into the air on his own and was really willing to take any device, input, or magic to accomplish that. While many characters only believed he could fly off the handle, he hoped he had something more within himself. That's why Mickey got Peter Pan and Tinkerbell to sprinkle him with pixie dust and teach him how to fly. With a happy little thought, he was really soaring across the House of Mouse, very similarly to what happens in another tale about Donald Duck. In Mickey's Philharmagic in the Magic Kingdom and in Disney California Adventure Park, which is a mouthful to say and seems much more complicated than Disney's California Adventure, when Donald searches for the sorcerer's hat he lost, we see Donald riding around on a magic carpet in Agrabah, and when he's falling over London, Tink and Peter save his tail with pixie dust. In a matter of moments, Donald was suddenly able to feel like there was nothing to flying. He was able to just be amongst the clouds, even though that often wasn't a reality for him. Unlike Daffy Duck, who can fly, only fully fledged quacking ducks, along with other birds, living planes, magical fairies, and physics-defying elephants, seem to be able to effectively set sail towards the stars. But I don't think that necessarily means that Donald Duck can't fly. Again, in that Mickey Mouse short Captain Donald, we get to see that Donald has some type of idea on how to fly. He gets the basics that he needs to flap his wings, but when it comes to it, he has to expend a lot of energy just to float above the ground.
Yeah, no, you just stop.
Donald can kind of fly, but he's just better at a lot of other things, just like what Daisy told him when he wanted to fly like the other characters in the House of Mouse. That would explain why when a family asked Donald Donald Duck at Cafe Mickey in Walt Disney World if he could fly, he said yes.
She just found out today that ducks fly. So she said, does Donald Duck fly? He does.
Well, we know Donald Duck has the passion, resilience, and determination to get off the ground. For how much effort is needed to make that happen, he just can't go very far, very long, or very high. So flying just kind of isn't really an option for him. Donald Duck seems to technically be able to get up in the air, but he's just not a very good flyer, so he's kind of forced to behave like he has no ability to fly at all. He has to keep his webbed feet on Earth.
You know, Donald, maybe you're better off grounded.
Donald is a duck, but when it comes to flying, he's bound to the ground much closer to how we are. It's not as easy for him to fly like traditional ducks, but when he wants to, he finds a way. A grand event like reuniting with Daisy is really one of the few times where fluttering over the floor looks effortless for him, which means he needs a lot of assistance, technologically or magically, to get his feathers off the ground. When he's in the air, he has little control, which is why when he gets blasted by a magical tuba, he gets sent right into the wall. But Donald never really gives up. When he wishes that he could fly, he's willing to do anything to make that happen the way he envisions it. And I love that about him. I think that's kind of why I've continued to enjoy him more and more as I've gotten older. I love how he's resilient without being completely blinded by optimism and positivity. I get so much joy from seeing his outbursts and pure passion, and I feel like I relate to him fairly often. I personally have been feeling like it's been difficult to fly like him. And when I say that, I really mean moving forward in everything I do as a content creator. I've been feeling uncreative, stretched too thin, and emotionally drained. It's been a really hard few months. I've just been putting a lot of pressure on myself and have been internalizing a lot of stress. Similarly to Donald, I've been feeling crushed and grounded than I have in the past. I'd love to say that those difficult emotions are done and gone, but I also don't think it's ever something that completely goes away but comes back in cycles. Donald Duck is always going to get angry and blow up on occasion no matter what, but I'm hoping after a week off, trying to focus more on just documenting the topics that I love and kind of going back to basics in some ways will serve me well moving forward. We all have to keep fighting to get off the ground, to keep waving our arms no matter how much effort that takes, because that's what we all have to do right now. But to go back to our main topic, Donald Duck isn't the best flyer. It really could be argued that he can't fly at all on his own since he can't really propel himself through the air, but he's got a lot of the basics down. He knows what to do, but just needs to find the strength to actually do it. And that happens for him when he uses the resources around him, has happy thoughts at the forefront of his mind, and when a little magic comes his way. When those elements come together, flying doesn't seem as difficult. And hopefully if we all remember that, it will allow us to be able to soar together, because I really want that for all of us. Similarly to how it allowed Donald Duck to achieve his dream of flying, hopefully faith, trust, and a little pixie dust will carry us as far as we all want to go. But let me know how you are doing right now and what topics you want to see discussed moving forward that will brighten up your spirits. Also, make sure to subscribe and click the beautiful bell, and then click on another magical video in the description or on the screen. Finally, thanks to my many patrons. Your Disney excitement and hearing about your movie marathons is contagious. Thanks for watching, and have a magical day.